What challenges did the Crows actors face with guns, knives, and goats? Who gets scared the easiest? And which Shadow and Bone actor was the only one who didn't dance with the others?
Did anyone say that?
Yeah.
The entire cast definitely has great chemistry, including the Crows. The actors behind Kaz, Inej, and Jesper were worried about filming in Budapest, miles and miles away from home. But they quickly became friends. When Amita Suman first saw Freddy Carter, she was smitten.
And he walked through the door with this huge smile, such a calm energy, and just this big, beautiful blue eye.
And when filming began, the main goal for all three of them was to do their characters justice.
The whole cast loved the books and wanted the show to be the best of the books and more.
But not everything went perfectly. On one of the first days on the set, Kit Young was pretty nervous. The Jesper actor wasn't sure he could handle the guns properly, especially after what happened on his first day at training. The stunt team gave Kit props to practice with and encouraged him to spin them. He tried his best, but it didn't end well.
And I dropped one immediately and it smashed everywhere.
The actor felt so bad, especially since the stunt team said that those were the only props available at the moment. So it's no wonder that Kit was worried he'd break all the guns on the set. When the filming began, the stunt team gave him custom-made guns, and they were considerably heavier than the ones he trained with. But everyone else on the set knew how hard he'd practiced, and they encouraged him, saying, "Come on, Kit, do the trick."
And I was like, I'm terrified.
Thankfully, everything went well. In fact, the Jesper actor got better and better at handling the guns. And by the end of filming, they became like extensions of his arms. When Kit was unsure of his skills, Amita was there to support him.
You were so good. You made it look so easy.
Funnily enough, the other Crows decided to give it a go, since it didn't look so hard.
We tried to do it, and pretty much all of us completely failed.
Amita herself also had to undergo certain training. In her case, it was with knives. Funnily enough, she shared that the only training she'd had previously was in chopping veggies. So I'm sure you're not surprised that she also broke a lot of props during filming, and she almost hurt herself at least once.
Make sure there aren't any more surprises.
The Crows actors were there for each other in good times and crazy times too. Remember how Kaz, Jesper, and Inej crossed the fold in season 1? Kit explained that they filmed this scene over 3 days, sitting in a black box with the interior of a train. It was constantly moving and surrounded by fire. And of course, there was Milo the goat. By the way, there were actually 2 goats playing Milo, and their names translated from Hungarian mean running and jumping. But Kit said that more appropriate names for them would be Screaming and Pooping, because that's exactly what they did most of the time. By the end of day 3, the actors were losing their minds. Yet together they rallied and pulled through with their team's spirit intact.
It's you.
That was me!
It's you.
Now, let's move on to the other actors from Shadow and Bone. In one of the cast interviews, they were asked an interesting question, and at that very moment, something shocking happened.
Who would survive the fold?
We know who definitely wouldn't. And it happened again just a minute later. Ah, Alina, where are your sun summoner powers? In real life, Jessie May Lee seems to be easier to scare than her character. But she was still perfect for her role, at least according to Ben Barnes.
Jessie May Lee plays Alina, who's just a sparkling ray of human sunshines.
Because there is no one that is more pure joy and sunlight than Jessie.
Interestingly, when the actress learned that she was going to star alongside Ben, she was a bit apprehensive.
The guy playing the doctor, he's Ben on, so I'm like,
Jessie thought that since he's older and more experienced than her, he'd give her a lot of unsolicited advice. But her fears didn't come true. Because despite their differences, Jessie and Ben got along well. Sometimes they would disagree on something and even argue in the makeup trailer, but it only made their friendship stronger. And despite the actress's fears, it was Ben who often asked for Jessie's advice. He always said that he really valued my opinions, and he liked the way I thought about things, she commented. And she added that she was able to teach him a thing or two. At the same time, Ben managed to become a mentor to one of his younger co-stars. It was Archie Renaux, aka Mal. Ben often gave him useful tips about acting.
Thank you. Archie Renaux.
Interestingly, Shadow and Bone isn't the first project where Ben and Archie have had to vie for a woman's attention. They previously co-starred in the miniseries Gold Digger on BBC.
I was seducing his mother in that particular show.
And being in a love triangle with Alina became kind of an escalation. The Mal actor joked that rivalry is becoming a recurring theme for the two of them, yet he hopes that one day they'll get to play friends. But let's get back to Ben and Jessie and see which scene was the hardest for them to film. Turns out it was the one where Darkling puts an amplifier inside Alina against her will. It looks cool in the show with all the effects and tense music, but on the set it was different.
We were like nothing, and we were like, every time they said cut, we looked at each other and just went, is that all we're doing?
Plus, there was a lot of hyperventilating for both of them, so it was hard to keep it together.
You were sort of look. Yeah, and then so we're doing that, then I kept seeing stars, I was getting dizzy, and I was finding the whole situation incredibly funny.
But the scene came out great, didn't it? Yet the challenges didn't end there for Jessie. She admitted that filming with the prosthetics wasn't easy. First of all, the antlers looked not too beautiful. And even more importantly, they were uncomfortable. It was so itchy. I was always accidentally picking it, the actress said. And she added that she definitely can't be trusted with a prosthetic on the set. Hopefully, the discomfort didn't stop Jessie from having fun with her other friends.
Hello, I'm great. You are?
Although Alina and Inej don't share a lot of screen time, these ladies managed to find each other in a very peculiar way.
You were wearing pink dungarees and I was wearing my denim dungarees, and I knew in that moment that we were going to be the best of friends.
Apart from wearing similar outfits, the two actresses bonded over other things too. Jessie is biracial, while Amita is Nepali. So both of them know the struggle of underrepresentation in the industry.
I would have loved to have a mixed race sort of character to look up to when I was growing up.
Thankfully, Shadow and Bone gave them the opportunity to shine. But there's even more to Jessie and Amita's connection. Both of them grew up in Brighton, England, and had actually met each other before.
I walked into the room and I said, where do I know you from?
They even have mutual friends. So, yeah, it looks like these two were meant to be BFFs. In fact, it's hard to say who of the cast has the strongest bond, because all of them managed to connect on many different levels. They loved hanging out together,
In a deep blue sea.
had fun on the dance floor, and even did elaborate performances. It turns out that only one actor from the cast didn't dance with the others. Can you guess who it was? Of course, it's Freddy Carter, because dancing is certainly not something Kaz would do.
Is that videos of you dancing?
They don't
Or singing?
exist.
Not only him, but pretty much every Shadow and Bone cast member was perfect for their role. They leap off the pages and into my story, into my feverish Grisha dreams, Ben Barnes once commented on his co-stars. The same can be said about the new cast members too. They quickly connected with the actors from the first season.
They really just welcomed us with open arms. It's very, very sweet.
It really is like entering a little found family.
And from the interviews, we can see just how comfortable they are with the original team.
Darkling. That is Jessie in the morning before she's had breakfast.
Just like we said, the chemistry between them is unbelievable, and they're truly all each other's biggest fans. Share in the comments below what else you'd like to find out about the Shadow and Bone cast. If you want to learn more about your favorite TV shows, check out our other videos.